Welcome back to Knuckles, the Echidna. Not Sonic the Hedgehog. Knuckles the Echidna. This is my second time recording this because my recording software messed up, so yay. Let's get into this issue. Imagine growing up mostly alone, the belief you're the last of your kind, never having a friend just like you. You may not like it, you may even resent it. You do, however, learn to deal with it. Otherwise, that's what you'd be. Right, this has been Knuckles' reality for most of his life. Now, upon rediscovering the lost city of the Kidnopolis, that's a really tongue twister word there, it begins to dawn on him that life as he knew it was just an illusion, with his traveling companions Archimedes and Julie Seuss serving as constant reminders that there still remains a lot he doesn't know or understand. Nichols seeks out the answers to the questions that continue to haunt him. What he finds will be more than he bargained for. Ah, here it is. Look at this beautiful thing. You know something about these 6 panels? Other than the text bubbles, the speech bubbles, do you know anything different about each panel? I'll give you a second. All right, have you figured it out? That's right, nothing. They're the exact same panel. One page is exactly the same 6 panels repeated over and over again. Talk about lazy. I can imagine what she must be saying. I doubt it. How would you know? I know you. I know Lolly as well. Is that so? Then what is she telling him? How would I know? Oh yeah, I guess what? It also means nothing. The dialogue is fucking shit here. Maybe back to the comic. I don't understand her any more than I did my beloved Jenna. Stupid fucking. Never mind. We'll get to it when we get to it. It would be nice if someone would explain what's going on. I'm sure the constable will explain in due time after all. He seems like a reasonable chap. Maybe so, but nobody has really said much since they decided to bring us in. Yes, sir. Constable Remington is taking them to the briefing room right away now. I'll see that he gets your message. I'm awfully sorry for not recognizing your station immediately, Guardian. These have been unsettling times. Everyone's on edge. You can say that again. By the way, my name's Knuckles. To address one's superior in so personal a matter will be most disrespectful. Guardian. I'm just an ordinary Joe doing his job. Bro, that's Knuckles now. Get the fuck out of here. That's all. Begging your pardon, Guardian, but you are far from ordinary. In fact, hey, Knuckles. There's someone most anxious to meet you. RK, how do you stop this crazy thing? I think I just did. Started been expected, but still a little rough and tush. Why isn't Julie Soupus? If they heard her, apparently Knuckles cares about this character he just met. That was an enemy originally. I don't. They kind of messed that up. It's sort of like the Star Wars sequels. I think I mentioned that last issue. I'm not sure if I did or not. About how they introduce a character who was part of the enemy squad, and they just immediately become a good guy. They don't have any. They never really seem to reflect on the fact they were a villain at one point. Oh well, who cares? Relax, Knuckles. I think she'll be okay. What do you think this is all about, Arky? Completely clueless you ain't. Me? Yeah, the original Mister. I knew nothing. This is my first time here, same as you, Knuckles. How about at least a hint if we're dealing with friend or foe? Hardly a foe. Definitely more than a friend. Ah, I'll be. Dingoes all around us. Sir, Echidnas all around us. What the hell's going on, sir? That's a good question, Sergeant. I wish I had answers. I better report this to General Stryker. Where echidnas are involved, it's always a matter of top priority. Grimmy Trump for disturbing you, but I thought, I already know. Sir, you wish to tell me about those echidnas up here yet or not there? You think I haven't seen or felt the disturbances? Once again, General, we must deal with the accursed echidnas and their experiments. They seem to think only their affairs matter, but no longer. Assemble a crack team of commandos, Gerbil, and wait for further orders. They must be ready to go at a moment's notice. Yes, sir. Just when I had all but resigned myself to our collective fate, it seems destiny has decided to intervene. This time we will fight to the bitter end, no matter what the cost. Yeah, you're that's right, Knuckles. I'm a guardian. But that would mean we're related. I would say so. Grandfather? Not just, I'm your great grandfather, 7 generations removed. That voice hurts. The fact your ear tells me something was gone wrong. Very wrong. I don't understand any of this. Where are we? Somewhere that should have remained a memory for you at best. Come along so I can bring you up to speed. For the moment you're in my inner sanctum, if you'll bear with me, I'll explain everything, or at least that which I can. There's the green button on that panel, son, and gently remove the oblong box inside the compartment. He set a disc, now what? Remove the first one and slide it into the slot on the console next to you. Those discs contain my logs made during my tenure as Guardian almost 200 years ago. It's the reason these characters lived very long, the Guardians, and they don't ever explain why. So yeah, they just, and they have no reason really to exist either, to be alive. Just Campaigners fucking around with us for no reason. Alright, as you can see, I was a bit more youthful in those days. Along entry 366, Hawk reporting this is the fifth store depot I've discovered broken into. For once, however, it appears the looters haven't much of a head start on me. But no, that's just maybe my lucky day. But more with taking flight, I have the looters in visual range. Since there is no attempt at evasive action, I must assume I have the element of surprise. Since it's been a shame not to take advantage of it. Blimey! I have. I just hate backseat drivers, don't you? Ow! Me sniffer! One down, and more to go. Sorry, this is hurting my voice. If the way the truck exploded was any indication, they were carrying something very nasty indeed. It was then I began to recognize that the Dingoes were prepared to go to any lengths to achieve their objectives. The Dingoes had been in war for Kidness even before there was a fling on. Watch it, you'll hit! They'd raise a stink about something, and we'd beat them back, they'd stay quiet for a while, and the cycle would begin again. Now a turning point had been reached, and the Dingoes weren't interested in taking any prisoners. It seemed you had the situation well in hand, Grandfather Hawking. Far from it, lad. You had to understand the Dingoes were warlike because that's was how they survived. They seem to grasp canine technology pretty well. Comprehend it, yes, but they weren't innovators. They couldn't conceptualize. They could only copy and adapt, in which they learned from each other. All they could see was the kin society had something they wanted. Never stopped to stopping to think, what they would do with the technology once they saw it. The results, proved indicated, so I figure out everyone one day at least against us. I can understand what you're saying, Grandfather. Shut up, Knuckles. I hate that voice. Not only did their ignorance almost destroy Kanopolis, nearly eradicate them as well. Thus, when they activated weaponry not used in literally hundreds of years, it was clear they hadn't thought through the consequences of their actions. Log entry 387 Hawking reporting. Our worst fears have been realized. We have determined that unless we use the same technology being used against us to defend ourselves, we are doomed. Who's that with you, Grandfather? That's not important. He's another guardian, ain't he? Just pay attention, Knuckles. Without a moment to spare, I returned to the site that had been sealed since the time of Edmund. But the contents of those long abandoned crates was perhaps the only possible solution. Seems to me everybody knows something. If by making the decision to utilize that solution, except me. Here's some fan art. How lovely. That was breaking the most, and solemn vow Guardian swears for all else. The first time I wondered which mattered more, my people or my conscience. It was after I witnessed the sight of nuclear terror heading in our direction that my choice was made for me. At first glance, it appeared we would survive the Dingoes missile strike of our energy shields, deflecting the nuclear debris. However, not even the energy shields could contain the radioactive dust that carried in the wind, spreading through the floating island. Since the entire island stood to be affected, evacuation was out of the question. However, I discovered a possible option among Dimitri's papers. He theorized the existence of other zones which occupy the same space but operating at different vibrational speeds. If that's my starting point, I designed and built our one last ditch hope. The Hyperzone Projector. It would use it to transport Echinopolis and the citizens to the safe environment of another zone on a temporary basis. This was the time as the radioactive waste was cleared up. As I was guarding the floating island, I had a responsibility to all who inhabited its many strange and wondrous regions, including the dingoes. They would be transported to a zone of safety, albeit one different from ours or anyone else's. When it finally came our turn, even though I knew what the plan was, I could not help but feel things would never be the same again. Wow, that's amazing. I sure don't look like that today. So, now you have any idea how much work it took to restore the island to what it once was? It was well over a century before the first inhabitants returned to their home. How come, from what I can see, you restored everything but the echidnas and the dingoes? You haven't yet to deal with them. Well, yeah, why? Simple, I don't have enough energy source great enough to send them back either city. It was all I could do, just a piece of meal basis. Wait, where are you going? You'll see. You're just full of surprises, aren't you? This is what it's all about, son. That's actually symbolic of both your heritage and your responsibility. I've never seen anything like this. I had no idea. I now have more questions than ever before. Please, Grandfather Hawking, there's so much I need to know. Knuckles, of all the Guardians, you are the most special for reasons I cannot go into, and you're not ready for. Your best thing you can do now for is the same thing every Guardian has at your stage of development. Just shut up and listen, little bitch. Ah, Grandfather, Julie Sue, come with me, please. Hey, why have you been keeping me here since the crazy shoot ride? Security reasons, but now I need your help. There's been an attack. A dingo cell is taken hostage at a housing complex on the east side. So what do you need from me, sir? Mine is visiting, remember? Perhaps you were there with the Guardian Knuckles, and right now you're needed to accompany us as his representative. His what? Get in the van. I'll explain as we go. We don't normally stand on ceremony. However, in this case, among the hostages are the Lady Laura Lee and her consort. Isn't that Knuckles' mother? That's correct. We've learned from lessons past in matters dealing with the Guardian's families that it's best to have someone with us to consult with. In everyone's best interest. You make them sound like they're royalty. I suppose they are, although they usually choose to defer to the High Council. Alrighty, people, get ready, and we'll do this by the numbers. Y'all know you're pretty well prepared for our people who are right now technology. Common sense on these departments' part, my dear. We had to deal with your kind of the dingoes from the time to time. Plus the occasional emergencies as well, I suppose. That too. Come on, let's get in position. I hope we can resume with them. Grandfather, are you alright? Archimedes, where are you? I was getting the feeling you forgot I was here. I feel a bit shaken, not stirred. Otherwise, I'm fine. That's good to know, but my grandfather. Stand back, my boy. I may be a wreck, but I can still take care of myself. Unreal. How do you do that? Knuckles, someday you'll know. Right now, if my facts are correct, we have trouble. Most likely of the dingo kind. Worse than that, they got my mother. Stay calm, lad. I'm sure there's a plan. You better believe it. The question for us, Knuckles, is whether you're ready to handle it. To be continued. And yeah, that's it. Oh boy, the issue is a mouthful of people crap. Also, remember a long time ago when the Dingoes were said to be no harm by Knuckles? Now they're assholes. Because competitors can't keep us writing consistent. Yeah, the continuity's already messed up. It hasn't been that long. Next time, we'll add the finale to this great arc. See you then.